Hello, welcome back to another hot spec versus hot flip book. You heard me talk often about how Steve Ditko early Spider-Man books are good candidates to flip because they are very liquid, high demand. So anytime that I see a book by Steve Ditko and Spider-Man 30% below fair market value, I'll go for it, okay? And they are both good spec and good flip a lot of time because there's so much things going on with the Spider-Man universe as far as the movies. Now, all that being said, non-Steve Ditko Silver Age Spider-Man are also good candidates for both hot spec and hot flips. Okay, they are great, absolutely great, and I can't say enough about how I would never turn down a chance to buy something like this book. Spider-Man 41, Silver Age. Now, for those that are new to the movies and this hobby, Sony planned to use the Vulture long before Michael Keaton donned the costume. Okay, after the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie with Venom and Sandman, the next villain that they planned to use was the Vulture. Okay, so they planned things out. It didn't work out, so they scrapped that fourth movie, and then eventually they reused the idea because I'm sure they went into designing and planning for the Vulture. That's my speculation. So, with them already done the work for the Rhino in the failed second version of Spider-Man, I think most of us can imagine that somewhere down the road, maybe even the very next movie, the next Spider-Man movie, we will see the Rhino appearing as a villain. Let me remind you, Mysterio was also planned, okay, with Vulture way back with Tobey Maguire. So they brought up that idea. They recycle the idea of using Mysterio as a villain. That's not something that was new. Okay, that was something that was thought about, and it's a no-brainer because Spider-Man has such a rich rogue gallery. So it's not a surprise that they use Mysterio or Vulture, and Rhino will be next. And the market has already started to do this for a while now. Not just started, it has been doing this for a while. If you look at the GPA data on the screen right now, you will see it, okay? Green arrow, all right? You heard me talk about green arrows. That's a good thing from 2017 to today. I'm shooting this video the weekend of Labor Day 2019. Not sure when I will load this video, but as you can see, look at that. Across the board, all the grades, green arrow. The lone one red arrow is not a big deal, right? Because it's 9.2. The book went down $15. Nothing to talk about. But look at the mid grade, the 8. The book has steadily climbed up from 445 average in 2017 to 654. Okay? Over 40% in a year and a half. Not a bad thing, okay? If you invest in the stock market or any investment, that's a very good return in a year and a half span, 40%, okay? And if you go to lower grade, okay, same thing. Look at that. Look at the 6.5. The average was 213. Now it's 413, almost a double, all right? Same thing with the 6.0. Look at that. So yeah, I can't stress enough that if you see these books in a while, okay, low grade to mid grade for cheap. By cheap, I mean 30% below fair market value. Pick them up because these books, this is just an example of a book, okay? I'm not just saying only focus on Spider-Man 41. I'm saying that if you can pick up Spider-Man keys, Silver Age, 30% below fair market value. In the long run, you will make money. All right? Sure, if you look at the 4.0, 3.5, 3.0, the gain doesn't look as solid, right? Sure, look at the 4.0. Okay? That's the one bad mark as far as a book that didn't go up compared to a year ago, because the average dropped to 110 compared to 173 last year. It was doing so well, but then you're talking one sales. Okay, that's an outlier. Okay, I wouldn't look at this and say, oh no, the book is crashing. Sure, if you look at this one data point, it's always try to look at the data point across the grade range. So yeah, not a bad gig. Okay, compare even 3.5. The book was 102. Now it's average 136. Sure, another outlier, 120 in August of 2019. I dragged down the average across for this grade. Okay, so no doubt, I'm a big fan of this book, and I'm a big fan of hoarding this book to flip, because eventually it will pay big dividend. Anyhow, that's it for this hard spec versus hard flip book. As always, it's not one versus the other. If you can find a book that can fit both, as in this book, this is the kind of book that I love to flip, because it's always a solid book to flip, and then if you add in the hype with potential movies, it could be a huge return later. But before I go, I got the idea to shoot this video as I was pulling out books to submit to CGC. And as with many Spider-Man books, yes, I have a whole bunch. I think there's another one in the cabinet to make it 4. I debated about which one to send to CGC. When it comes down to mid-grade, even I can admit that I am not. I'm the worst at the mid-grade. I think most people will agree. Mid-grade is really tough. By mid, I mean between 4 and 5. To me, 4 and 5, 6 and above, I'm pretty confident on my skills. 3 and below, I'm also pretty good at that. But when it comes down to like 4 to 5, 5.5, I seem to have the most problem at that grade. So this one here, we'll see how I do. I pull it out, I clean it, I press it. I think it will be a 5, so I will pay attention in the next few months whenever this book, because it's gonna be submit in the value tier. It's not a, it's a 5.0. It's probably worth between 200 to 300 bucks at most. So I'm gonna submit on a value tier, and you know how value tier can be, right? It could take 3-4 months, so who knows. I'm shooting this video at the end of August, so maybe by Christmas at this rate. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a 5.0, so I'm gonna submit the lowest grade for now, and see how things will turn out. But it's time to let some go for sure. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.